Hi everyone, it's Judy here at River City Sewing, bringing you this week's weekly news. Well, what a week it's been, and I think we've all seen the dramatic scenes that have unfolded since we were here last week. These flood events have been an incredible thing. Hopefully we'll never see the likes of them again, but it's affected so many people in so many areas. It's quite hard to fathom. So this week we are going to be going through a couple of little things to do with our call for quilts, also a little bit of safety with your machine after water and all those kinds of things, and basically giving you a few little tips and little areas where we can offer some help for you. Okay, so first things first is if I wanted to put out a call for quilts because quilters are a generous bunch, and quilts offer such a great comfort to people after events, tragic areas in your life. People give quilts, and it's just a way of raising hope and spirit. So I wanted to start a call so that we could get some quilts together and then be able to distribute them to these people that have been affected either with their homes, their businesses, their families, all those kinds of things. So when they start to recover, a quilt's like a big hug. I know what it's like when you give someone a quilt. First thing you sort of do is, especially kids, they love them. I mean, they wrap themselves in them, they smell them, they hug them. It's like having a big hug from someone. And quilts offer sort of that profound sense of love. So that's the kind of thing I wanted to sort of call to get everyone involved and to say, right, can we make some quilts so that we can distribute to people that have been affected by these weather events. So I put out the call. I said, well, someone's got to start. So I said, okay, let's put out the call. And initially it was through my Facebook page and the River City Sewing Facebook page, but this is more than just us. It was never meant to be about us. It was mainly to get the process started. So I've made a special Facebook page called 2022 Call for Quilts Australian Floods. So that Facebook page, that way everyone can share it. It's got all the information about it, all about the distribution and what's happening, and you'll get regular updates on how we're going, how many quilts we're sort of getting in, and the distribution and where they're going. So these kind of events are really difficult. You don't want to, you want to be able to help, and you want to be able to help straight away, but this is not the kind of thing we can do straight away. Straight away, if you want to help straight away, please go to the Red Cross and donate money, go to the Lifeline stores, donate things from practical goods that either they can sell or then send on to other areas. But at this particular point, our quilts we'll be distributing a little bit later as people get back into their homes and their, get back to some kind of normalcy, so that at the moment is not the right time. So it gives us all time to collect and get these quilts ready for distribution to those areas that need them the most. Okay. So that's what the Call for Quilts is all about. It's not about us, it's not about anything like that. It's about being a collection point. So the one thing with these kinds of things is we need a collection point for all those people, so people know when they make their quilt, where they need to get it sent to or drop it off to. And then we organise then with the local area authorities and quilt groups. I'm looking for some help out there. If you can help us identify those areas and people that need some help in those areas. If your group wants to help in that area, that's great, fantastic. But if you're not connected to a group but you still want to help with this process, then you're welcome, please, to send them to us and we can make sure they get to the right people. I think we've got a job and a big challenge ahead of us, but I know quilters out there are generous people. We've put the call out to some of our friends overseas as well, and we've sent quilts from Australia to the US in the past, and I know a lot of our quilting friends in the US are super generous people as well. So we put the call out there, so it's going to be great. So let's get sewing and have something tangible that some of these people can have as they try to rebuild their lives a little bit later on. Okay, so that's all about the call for quilts. So the crux of this is, if you've got a quilt, it doesn't matter what size it is. Originally, as a guide, I sent out the information, single bed or double bed. It was only because it doesn't matter which quilt we send out to anyone, it's going to be a practical size either for an adult or a child. If you only make baby quilts, or it doesn't matter what size quilt you have, lap quilt, baby quilt, cot quilt, whatever, we're happy to take them all. All right? There's no discrimination about any of those. As long as it's finished, that's the main thing. We've got quite a few that people have asked, and some of the machine quilters have put up their hand and said, look, I'm happy to help finish quilts. So on that Facebook page, the 2022 Call for Quilts, we'll be putting a list of people who've volunteered, maybe to finish quilts. Someone has got a couple of tops or something like that, they need them finished, which is great news. Thank you all for your help. So whatever way you can help, if you're just wanting to help a group in your area, you want to get together and have a sewing day, let me know through that page and I can let other people know as well. So if you're not a quilter, but you want to help in this sewing process, then let us know too. Because sometimes if you can just provide a metre of fabric, or if you've got something in your stash that you can provide, like, we're looking at quilting fabric at the moment, right? So 100% cotton, that kind of thing, any quilting type fabric. We can then put you in contact, through that page. It could be like a little chat group, so if you can talk amongst yourselves and then be able to help each other. Here at the store, we're putting together a couple of sit and sew days using different techniques. So the first one's going to be a jelly roll, like a jelly roll race day. That's going to be, using the pre-cuts, and we're just asking that you book in for that because we've only got a limited amount of space. But we're going to need people just to be sewing, even cutting, all that kind of stuff, so, at different points if there's more of these sit and sew days. So just keep an eye on our class list. Is going to be, you'll see it there as charity days that we're going to put into the calendar. Okay, so if there's a fee, all that fee goes to charity. If there's, you bring your own stash, that kind of thing, we might have some donated fabric. People want to donate some fabric, they want to bring some of their stash in, they can't sew it at the moment, but we can put up information on that Facebook page as it goes through. So please keep an eye on that. Share it as many times as you like. If you've got any questions about that, or if you know someone in need in your area, please, we're trying to go through the local authorities in each of the areas, but if you've got someone or family in need and you can't help them but you'd like them to be able to get a quilt, then please you just message us through that particular site and then we can sort of look at the areas where we're going to go. The other thing we wanted to talk about was if your machine has been water affected, okay, for safety, please do not turn this thing on. If you had your machine submerged in flood waters, I will say that your machine is beyond repair, so it would be a total loss. As hard as that is for me to say about machines, I would know that there would be not only factors of water but of dirt and other elements in these machines that make it extremely difficult to recover those kinds of machines. If you are in the position where you've had some leaks in your sewing room, where you haven't had a total submersion, but you've had water sort of drip on your machine or things like that, again, no power, please, at the moment. Just make sure that you put it aside and allow it to dry out, where you can bring it in here to us for an assessment, but it has to be dry before our guys will look at it, obviously for safety reasons. But we're more than happy to do an assessment on that machine for you. You just have to let us know if you bring it into us that it's been water affected, but if it's been submerged, unfortunately, we won't be able to look at that because that'd be a total write-off. It's not worth, we can't recover those types of machines once they've been submerged, okay? But safety first. If your machine has been affected by any type of water, please do not turn it on as much as you want to sew. You may find yourself in a dangerous situation, so please don't. If you're in doubt, give it a few days, let it dry out, and then bring it in and we can have our techs assess it for you, okay? Now, for those of you who have been, who need some information for insurance companies, we've done a little bit of work this week trying to think about all the things that you guys might need for that. And we have put some stuff on the website. I'm just going to bring up my computer in a second and show you what we've done on the website so that you can request a quote. And that way you can give us as much information as you can about the machine that you had. If you're not quite sure about the machine that you had and you bought it through us or you've had it here for a service, we might be able to go through and find that information for you from our records that we have here. But that way, if your insurance company is in need of some quotes, we will be able to help you with that. But we're just doing it as an email form that you can just fill out some details online. You can do that on your mobile or things like that as well. You don't need to physically send me an email. It can happen through the website. So my computer doesn't want to start up, so I'm still going to talk for the time being. The rest of the week at River City, things are here as normal. We are open, classes are continuing. So I would say keep an eye on the website. If you're, there may be some supply chain issues as roads are closed south of Brisbane. Hopefully a few of those will start to come back online at the moment, but it's just getting freight from, say, Sydney to Brisbane or Melbourne to Brisbane. So at this particular point, we're at the mercy of the floodwaters in that respect. So if it takes a little while longer to maybe get some supply, just be patient as we get those coming up. Okay, one of the things we've done on the website is to put on a link on the very front page of the website so that if you need help with a quote for your insurance company for your machine, it's available there. So we've put up this quote form, and I'm going to change for cameras so that you can see. So on the front page, forget about the top part of it, come down here and say like a quote, click here. So what you're going to see once you click in there is request a quote, and you'll see that there's lots of information here. So of that, is just put your details, your first and last names, your email and phone number. And just in here, just say I'm looking to buy a new machine. And I'm needing a quote for your insurance company. See this one right here? There we go. How soon are you ready? This just helps us with some of these things if you say you're not sure. And then you can tell us about the machine that you had. So you would type in here, okay, type in what type of machine it was, what brand. If you're not quite sure, just put I'm really not sure, you serviced it for me in 2020, something like that, and we can go and have a look. And then basically, if you need to give me more information, it's here. Do you prefer a brand? And then we'll list it there. And then basically, if you're looking for insurance quote, just tick the box, give me any other information and press submit. The idea of this is for you to give us the information so that you're not held up with it, because I know it's going to be a busy time for you all, those of you affected and need this kind of information. So just tick the boxes that need ticking. Anything with a little red star is a required field to just, if you're not quite sure, just tick something. But it's especially important for those of you with a insurance quote that you tick needing a quote for your insurance company, and just tick the I'm not sure yet there, and this little box will appear. Okay, if you don't tick that one, it won't appear. So just tick it there, put your details in of what your machine was, If you've got multiple machines, you've got a little bit of space in there just to put them all in. If you're not quite sure and you know that we've serviced them, you can give us a call and we can go back through your service records and stuff like that as well. All right, so we can get that information to you. That way it'll come as an email for you, and that way you'll have that available for your insurance company if you need it. But it's really important. Submerged machines are going to be written, basically are not, sorry, they're big on repair. But if you've only had like a few water drips through your sewing rooms or something like that, but not a submergence, then we might be able to help you get it assessed. All right, but full submergence, due to the amount of electronics in that, they're going to be unrecoverable. I'm sorry. As much as we love our machines, you know, unfortunately that's just how it is. But if we can help you, our team are here, our techs are here to help do the assessments. If you do have a machine that has had some water, you know, not submergence, but you've had some water issues, just make sure you let it dry out for a week or so, and then once you've let it dry out, when you bring it in, you just have to make sure that when you are booking it in, to tell our staff that the details about that, so that our techs are aware when they go to have a look at that assessment. Okay, so from Judy and all the team at River City Sewing, I want to thank you all for all the calls we've had and all the people who have already started helping us with our call for quilts, and we look forward to bringing you some updates next week. To everyone out there who's been affected by the flooding, I just want to say our hearts go out to you. Hopefully with these call for quilts we'll be able to help you. But in the meantime, everybody, if you would like to help in a practical way at this particular point in time, in the first instance, Red Cross and the appeals, and in the second instance, if you want to help us get sewing and get some of these quilts for these people who have been affected, get sewing, make us a quilt and get it to us, and we'll make sure it goes to those people. So from Judy and all the team, thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you next week. Stay safe, everybody, and we look forward to bringing you the news from our store next week. Thanks and bye for now.